We have been joined now by our chief guest of the day, Ms. Ranjana Chopra जी. तो मैं सबसे पहले आप सभी लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि हम सभी लोग खड़े होके हमारे चीफ गेस्ट का स्वागत करेंगे, अभिनंदन करेंगे. Namaskar and Tashidele. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. On behalf of the Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies, Sarnath, and in collaboration with the National Mission for Manuscripts, I extend to you all a warm welcome to the Valedictory Session of 3-day National Conference on the Legacy of Rahul Sankrityayan ji in the era of digital humanities. These past few days have been an intellectual enriching journey, traversing through time, text and traditions, let it be verbal or non-verbal, with scholars, translators, conservators and digital pioneers breathing new life into the vision of Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan ji. We now arrive at the culminating moment of this academic pilgrimage, which we call as the valedictory for the day. Since there are certain activities in the event where after the release of our Bodhi Prab, we will request the dignitaries to join on the dais. Before that, we will today try to begin the program, this auspicious session, with lamp lighting ceremony. May I kindly invite our esteemed dignitaries to join us in the lighting of the ceremonial lamp, a symbol of wisdom, clarity, and the eternal light of knowledge. I will request with both of them, Dorjee Damdul ji, Jampa Samten ji, DR sir, Lata di, please join us for the lighting of the lamp. Another guest of honor, Sampurnanand. Thank you. Let us now invoke divine blessings through Manglacharan in both Sanskrit and Tibetan, led by our students. May I request our student choir to present the Sanskrit Manglacharan, please. Thank you. Now we may request the Tibetan choir to please present the Tibetan Manglacharan. A very appropriate theme which we had picked up for this conference was the legacy of Rahul Sankrityayan ji in the era of digital humanities. And in the deliberations which had taken place since last 3 days, everybody was very curious about some particular sessions which kind of foregrounded the contribution which CIHTS has made in the field. We thought, why not we today present an in-house made documentary to all of you, so that some of you, specifically our students, our chief guests, the participants who have come from outside, can literally witness a visual narrative where they can see and salute the untiring efforts, the heroes who have gone to far off places and have made the kind of work which almost seems impossible and sometimes uncanny, spooky and paranormal to my imagination. Ladies and gentlemen, I grab this opportunity now. We invite all of you to witness a short but soulful screening of the CIHTS produced documentary. It was made just within 3 days. By the order of our registrar, she wanted it to happen, and the team came together, and with the busy schedule of our conference also, within 3 days we just made it possible. So the title of this documentary is Timeless Treasures, the Sacred Journey of Manuscripts at CIHTS, a glimpse into our institute's untiring efforts to preserve, restore and transmit our sacred manuscript heritage to future generations. May we have the screening. In Sarnath, the sacred land where the Buddha delivered his first sermon, stands a unique citadel of learning and spiritual preservation, the Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies. Established in 1967 under the guidance of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama and supported by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, CIHTS is a deemed to be university established under Section 3 of the UGC Act 1956. More than an academic institution, CIHTS is a sanctuary for the preservation, study and dissemination of Tibetan and Buddhist knowledge. This documentary is a window into that noble effort, how CIHTS carries forward its mission with care, precision and dedication, transforming ancient pages into living knowledge for the benefit of all. Among its many responsibilities, CIHTS places the highest priority on preserving rare manuscripts, ancient texts that hold centuries of spiritual, philosophical and ethical wisdom. Often hidden in remote monasteries or private collections, these fragile works face constant threats from time, moisture, insects and neglect. To safeguard this heritage, CIHTS launched a comprehensive digitization program, converting vulnerable manuscripts into accessible digital formats for scholars and practitioners worldwide. Inside the Shantarakshita library, thousands of Tibetan and Sanskrit texts, including the Kangyur and Tangyur, are preserved with care, continuing the living legacy of the Nalanda tradition. The digitization process is both technical and reverent. It begins with extensive research to identify repositories, followed by negotiation and the signing of MOUs with custodial institutions. Once permission is granted, a specialized team is formed comprising scholars, conservators, photographers and technical experts. Expeditions to remote sites like Gondola, Tabo, Leh, Zanskar, Tawang and even Mongolia require careful logistic planning. Equipment is transported by various means depending on terrain and climate. These journeys are not mere technical missions, they are pilgrimages of respect and responsibility. Upon reaching the site, the team assesses the manuscripts, documents their condition and estimates the time required. Controlled digitization workstations are set up with proper lighting and tools. Each folio is photographed in sequence, followed by quality checks and metadata documentation. Back at CIHTS, the digitization files undergo post-processing, color correction, file organization and expert cataloging. The manuscripts are enriched with background information to ensure future researchers understand their context. CIHTS utilizes a combination of high-resolution overhead scanners, flatbed and feeder-based document scanners and multifunctional scanning devices for in-house digitization of rare manuscripts and modern books. For off-site projects in remote Himalayan regions, a portable camera set up with tripod and remote is used, ensuring efficient digitization in areas with limited infrastructure. From 1993 to 2025, CIHTS has digitized over 9,58,000 pages from 1,406 texts, resulting in more than 4,400 GB of data. These includes rare Kangyur and Tangyur versions. Titles, origins and languages are meticulously documented, creating a valuable resource for global research. Notable projects include microfilming the Tawang Golden Kangyur, the handwritten Kangyur at GNL Monastery, and digitization of collections from LTWA Dharamshala, Tibet House, New Delhi, and BHU Library. The Sanskrit Buddhist text collection alone comprises over 1,28,943 pages, and more than 10,000 texts are preserved in xylograph form through microfiche and microfilm. The institution also converts older formats like microfilm into digital formats using specialized scanners and softwares, ensuring that no knowledge is lost to obsolescence. CIHTS' strength lies in the collaboration of 4 key departments working in harmony. The translation department renders ancient text into Hindi and English, while the rare Buddhist text research department identifies and studies unexamined manuscripts. The restoration department preserves fragile works, and the dictionary department compiles multilingual lexicons to support scholarly research. In 2019, a major translation initiative began in collaboration with the Bihar Museum, focusing on Kangyur, Tangyur and Sungbum texts brought to India by the great Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan. Of the 57 selected texts, 30 have been translated, with 17 ready for publication. CIHTS commitment has expanded beyond Indian borders. Expeditions to Gyan Monastery in Mongolia and collaborations with institutions like the British Library, Nepal National Archives and the Buddhist Digital Resource Center (BDRC) have amplified the global reach of this mission. Thousands of hours of teachings, seminars and archival footage once stored on fragile formats have now been digitized and made accessible, honoring the Buddha's teaching on impermanence by preserving wisdom before it vanishes. Timeless Treasures is more than a story of digitization. It is the story of how sacred knowledge survives through devotion and innovation. The ancient manuscripts preserved at CIHTS are not merely fragile pages from the past. They are the living voices, still speaking, still guiding, still offering wisdom to a world in search of meaning. Thanks to CIHTS' far-sighted vision and dedicated efforts, the ancient wisdom of Nalanda, the voices of Indian and Tibetan masters, and the heritage of Himalayan monasteries continue to live on. Yet, much remains. Knowledge yet to be retrieved from remote corners, voices yet to be deciphered, insights yet to be shared, texts yet to be restored, and timeless wisdom yet to inspire future generations. This is not the end of a journey, but its living continuation. CIHTS is well prepared, equipped with state-of-the-art technology, and determined to play its pivotal role in it. CIHTS becomes not just a guardian of tradition, but a beacon for the future, where the past lives on not as a relic, but as revelation. Thank you so much. For this specific hard work, I think we all should put a huge round of applause for the multimedia team who made this possible in-house within almost, I think, 48 hours. So thank you so much for the multimedia team to make this Herculean task possible. And there is a saying that there is nothing better than the visual narratives, because they immediately, our minds are synced so that we are capable to capture the images, and they always carry on in our memory, hovers, comes back and reminds us the kind of hard work which this university is doing. This is an appeal from this institute also to our chief guest, that this institute has been doing amazing work. I hope that with the financial and logistic helps and keeping the view of the kind of mega projects which are going on, with your help, ma'am, I think that the journey financially will be capable to continue, and we will come up with something very outstanding and surprising for this country. Thank you so much. Today is the day that we are celebrating, it seems, a lot of achievements of this campus. Another feather in our hat today is the release of the Rajbhasha magazine, which now has come into its 4th edition. We are delighted to announce the release of the 4th issue of CIHT's Rajbhasha magazine, Bodhiprabha, a publication that reflects our literary and cultural ethos. May I request our dignitaries on sitting here to kindly unveil the issue. I will now request our guests to join us here in front, so that, and I'll request the editor, Dr. Anurag Tripathi ji, to please make the arrangements. I'll request everybody sitting in the front row, please come, including the Deputy Registrar, please come forward and help us releasing and unveiling the 4th edition of Bodhipram. Let's put our hands together for a team which throughout the year works hard to bring the Hindi edition of this amazing magazine in front of all of us. Thank you, ma'am. Now I'll request our chief guest, Ms. Ranjana ji, our Honorable Registrar ma'am, to please join us on the dais. And as the representative of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, I'll request Dr. Dorjee also to please come and join us on the stage. One of the guest of honors of ours of the day, Professor Bihari Lalji is on the way, the Vice Chancellor of Sampurnanand University. It just happened, and this is just a serendipity, that when we are celebrating the valedictory of a manuscript kind of program, he has today inauguration of a 7 days manuscript training program there, which is also funded by Ranjana ma'am. So it's just that, but he promised me that he'll be coming here, so we are just keeping our fingers crossed. Now it is my sacred duty and joyous honor to felicitate our distinguished dignitaries and guests who have graced us with their presence today. I now request our representative Honorable Vice Chancellor and Chief Patron of the conference, Dr. Dorjee Damdul, to kindly come forward and offer a token of our gratitude in form of Kathak and Thanka painting to our respected chief guest of today, Mrs. Ranjana Chopra ji, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. In the typical Bhuti Parampara, we would acknowledge her effort, the kind of hard work she has put, the kind of strategic planning which her extraordinary mind does throughout the years to ensure that we get the financial help. We would like to acknowledge your presence, ma'am, in today's extraordinary event. Thank you so much for coming and gracing us for this event. I'd request you to be there, ma'am, for a while. I will now request our beloved Registrar, Dr. Sunita Chandra ji, to offer a token of Banarsi flavor in form of a shawl to Ranjana Chopra ji. On behalf of this conference, I'll request the organizing secretary, Dr. Animesh Prakash ji, to offer the memento of the conference to Ranjana Chopra ji. Thank you so much. Now I'll request our SWA Dean, Dr. Namang Damphel ji, to felicitate Dr. Dorjee Damdul ji, in capacity of being today the representative of our Honorable Vice Chancellor. I'll request now the Deputy Registrar, sir, Dr. Himanshu Pandey ji, to felicitate our beloved Registrar, Dr. Sunita Chandra ji, whose support and continuous hard work, I know, has made a lot of work possible for me without sometime even the prior approvals. So thank you so much, ma'am, for having faith in us. Thank you so much. You may please join us on the dais now. When the guest of honor will arrive, we will do the felicitation for him also. Now, in the capacity of the conference convener, I take immense pride and a weighty responsibility on my shoulders to present the conference summary in front of all of you. We are delighted to share that the conference received an overwhelming responses from across India and even abroad. A total of 42 abstracts were submitted, out of which, after a rigorous selection, 31 were selected for presentations. The conference witnessed participation from a wide range of institutions and universities, including local Banaras Hindu University, IIT BHU, Sampurnanand University, Jadavpur University, Somaiya Institute of Dhamma Studies, University of Vienna, University of the West, the USA, and the Shan State Buddhist University, Myanmar, among others. Scholars and researchers came from cities such as Delhi, Varanasi, Pune, Gaya, Bhadohi, Sikkim, Gyalsing, Austria, Myanmar, and the US, etc. The registration of 140 participants underscored the topical relevance of the theme and the deep scholarly interest it generated. There was a line which I was very hesitant when I was releasing the call for paper, and some of the presenters pointed it out. I did it deliberately when I mentioned that this is a CFP, an attempt to call the researchers to come forward and register their faith in a memory of a forgotten hero, Rahul Sankrityayan ji. But the next day when I started to receive the abstracts, I realized, and today on record I want to apologize from the stage, that Rahul Sankrityayan ji has never been the forgotten hero, will never be, because his contribution now today is absolutely forever marked in the memory and the history and now the archivization of this amazing country. So thank you so much for this overwhelming participation of 140 participants. Over the 3 days, a total of 10 academic sessions were conducted, which included 8 technical sessions, 1 research scholars forum, and 1 hands-on workshop. In total, 31 papers were presented, 9 on day 1, 15 on day 2, and 7 expert presentations during the workshop on day 3. 6 sessions were conducted in hybrid mode, allowing participation from national and international scholars who joined online from University of Vienna, University of the West, Jadavpur University, etc. The special moment was the inclusion of Jeta Sankrityayan ji, son of Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan, who, along with Archana Tamang ji, shared insights into Rahul ji's journey and their personal enduring relevance. Their presence added a deeply personal and historical perspective to the sessions. We were also honored by the esteemed presence of Mr. Abhijit Haldarji, Director General of the International Buddhist Confederation, IBC, whose insights further enriched the discourse on India's global Buddhist legacy. The 3-day conference commenced on 24th March 2025 with an inaugural session featuring a keynote address by Professor Maya Joshi entitled A Seeking Mind, the Polymathic Explorations of Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan ji. A presidential address by Professor Dorjee ji, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of our university, and a vote of thanks by the organizing secretary, Dr. Animesh Prakash ji. This absolutely set the tone for a vibrant academic gathering, which kind of seeped in the next 2 days. Day 1 included 3 key sessions. Technical session 1 was on many words of Rahul Sankrityayan, narrative multiplicity and ideological pluralism. Technical session 2 was on Mahapandit as modernist, Rahul Sankrityayan's role in reviving the Indian knowledge tradition and global literary dialogues. And a research scholar forum that day themed text, terrain and traditions, explorations in the preservation of Tibetan Buddhist manuscripts. 9 papers were presented the first day. On day 2, 4 engaging sessions took place. Technical session 3 focused on Yatri, Kathakar or Bodh Chintak, Rahul Sankrityayan ke Rachnatmak Ayam, while technical session 4, titled From Sikkim to Siddhas, tracing the cultural and historical imagination of Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan, featured a special presentation by Jeta Sankrityayan ji, who, along with a research assistant, absolutely added something which was not even published hitherto. Technical session 5, Echoes of the Enlightened, India's Buddhist Wisdom and Sankrityayan's Intellectual Legacy. The day concluded with an interactive session on intersections of Buddhism and Rahul Sankrityayan's literary canon. A total of 15 papers were presented on this day. I would like to now first recognize the presence of our guest of honor, Shri Bihari Lal Sharma ji, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Sampurnanand University. I'll request everybody to give him a huge round of applause. We are absolutely honored, sir. Please join us on the dais. I would personally express my sorry, sir, that because there was some uncertainty from your side, so we thought of carrying on with the program, but now are absolutely thrilled that you could join us. I know, as I told you, there are two programs, I think sir told me, the conference and seminars on manuscripts which are going on in his university also simultaneously. If I'm not wrong, he told me that there is even a session at 4 or 5 o'clock in his university in which again he has to chair. So thank you so much, sir, that from this busy schedule you considered our request. Thank you so much. I'll just first conclude on day 2, 4 engaging sessions took place, technical session 3. The day concluded with an interactive session on intersection of Buddhism and Rahul Sankrityayan's literary canon. A total of 15 papers were presented on this day. Day 3 featured a very interesting experimentation which usually you'll not find in a conference. Usually in conferences, this is the time where people come and present their paper, but looking at a very unique theme. And we knew that our institution has done an amazing research work which has its own validity, which has its own hard work. And I thought while making the CFPs that is the time where we converted the entire 5 hours of the third day into a hand-on experience workshop, where all of our research scholars, participants got a lot, because first time I think in this university officially in a form of workshop for the digital humanities. I was also honored to have the presence of our colleagues from IIT BHU to give the hand-on training on how do we do digital humanities or digitize the manuscripts, the kind of myths which are associated with that, the kind of limited knowledge which we have got. So for this workshop, I am absolutely honored by the 4 HODs of our translation department, restoration department, Rare Buddhist Text Research department, and the dictionary department. Ramesh Chandra Negeji could not join us because of his schedule. So let's put a huge round of applause for these 4 research departments who in a form of hand-on workshop first time gave the training to a gathering which came here in a part of conference. And I would also like to tell everybody this is not the first time that we have organized a conference on Rahul Sankrityayan. After me joining this university, I was aware that there was a workshop on his Kangyur, Tangyur and Sungbum's translation was also organized, but I was told by R.K. Mishra ji, our documentation officer, that early, I think in 1990s also, a very huge Mammoth conference was also organized on Rahul Sankrityayan. So I think that this university is doing the kind of work which is supposed to be done into the great legacy of a Mahapandit like Rahul Sankrityayan. So thank you so much for the effort which all the paper presenters have put throughout the 3 days. Now, I would also now first grab the opportunity now to welcome our guest of honor. So I will once again request the representative Honorable Vice Chancellor and Chief Patron of the conference, Dr. Dorjee Damdul, to kindly come forward and offer a token of our gratitude in form of a Kathak and Thanka painting. You can do it from there only, sir. To our respected guest of honor, Professor Bihari Lal Sharma ji, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sampurnanand Sanskrit University. I will now request our beloved newly appointed AR, Shri Sumil Tiwari ji, to come forward and offer a shawl to, if he's not here, I'll request Jampa Samten ji to please come and do the felicitations for Honorable Vice Chancellor by offering him a shawl. On behalf of the conference organization, I'll request the organizing secretary, Dr. Jasmeet Gill, to offer a memento of the conference to Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sampurnanand Sanskrit University. Thank you so much. Let us now hear from our participants. May I invite a few of our registered participants to share their reflections, experiences, and of course suggestions, so that in future we can expand the horizons and can organize and conduct more memorable conferences. In this, I may request Dechan Chuskit ji, the research scholar BHU, to come forward and please share your feedback.
Very good afternoon, Tashi Dilek and Jule. So, first of all, I would like to thank the organization, the committee team, and fellow speakers that for making this event such a wonderful experience for me. As a new research scholar, this conference was a great learning opportunity for me. I got to meet so many scholars in my field and a very diverse field as well. I got to know about digitalization and how we can restore the pictures of images from professor from IIT itself. And I would also like to say something about the stay as well. It was very comfortable and the hospitality was very great. And I look forward for many conferences to participate. And lastly, I would like to say thanks for giving me this opportunity. And I look forward to stay in touch with scholars that I've met here for future discussion related to my scholars. And I especially like to thank Jampa Samtan sir. He have given me so many insights and suggestions for my topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dechan. May I now request Dr. Akhilesh Kumar Mishra, ICSSR Postdoctorate Fellow, BHU, to share the feedback with us.
सभी गुरुजनों को प्रणाम, सम्मानित मंच को प्रणाम। मेरा अनुभव यहाँ बहुत अच्छा रहा। जो ये त्रिदिवसीय सम्मेलन हुआ राहुल संकृत्यायन जी के ऊपर, इसको लेके जो संस्थान ने इसका चयन किया, मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट को लेके चयन किया, क्योंकि राहुल संकृत्यायन जी के कार्यों का योगदान बौद्ध विद्या के क्षेत्र में अत्यधिक महत्वपूर्ण है। उनके द्वारा लाए गए ही पांडुलिपियों पे आधारित बौद्ध विद्या के बहुत सारे विद्यार्थी शोध कर रहे हैं, उसको पढ़ रहे हैं हिंदी में या मूल संस्कृत रूप में। मेरा भी जो शोध पीएचडी का था वो अपोह सिद्धि के ऊपर था, वो भी राहुल संकृत्यायन जी द्वारा लाया गया। जो वर्तमान में मैं शोध कर रहा हूँ तत्व संग्रह के ऊपर, वो भी पांडुलिपियाँ राहुल जी द्वारा तिब्बत से लाई गई, उसका फिर से संस्कृत के रूप में पुनरुद्धार हुआ। जो इस विषय का चयन था इस संस्थान के द्वारा या संस्कृति मंत्रालय द्वारा जो पांडुलिपियों पे विशेष जोर दिया जा रहा है, उसके रूप में उसके लिए विशेष धन्यवाद। डॉक्टर महेश शर्मा जी का धन्यवाद, हमारे सीनियर प्रोफेसर इनमेश सर का डॉक्टर इनमेश सर का धन्यवाद, रवि सर का धन्यवाद। ये सम्मेलन ऐसे ही भविष्य में इस प्रकार के और सम्मेलनों का आयोजन होना चाहिए, ताकि बौद्ध विद्या जो अभी तक किसी न किसी रूप में जो है छूट रही थी पीछे, वो जो है आज राहुल संकृत्यायन जी के कारण या अन्य रूपों में भी इस पे अत्यधिक शोध होना चाहिए, शोधार्थियों को जागरूक होना चाहिए। और बौद्ध विद्या जो कि एक वैश्विक इसका परिदृश्य है, इसकी पहुंच है, अन्य क्षेत्रों में भी इस पे जो है रिसर्च होना चाहिए। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much. And as one of the final feedbacks, do we have Dr. Santosh Mishra ji here? I'll request Dr. Santosh Mishra ji from the Government College, Bhadohi, to please come forward and share his feedback.
Good afternoon, one and all. I have been to several seminars, but this seminar is quite different because it has, you can say, stamina of keeping the legacy of Buddhism, and at the same time literary and research capabilities that India has in its past. So when I arrived here, I had lots of imagination, lots of you can say expectation, and I throughout the presentations and the sessions, I realized this thing that those expectations have been kept, have been achieved, and it has been a great pleasure to be the part of such seminar. I congratulate Mr. Mahesh Sharma and his entire team, because they have achieved what was expected, what was promised, and I expect that in future they will keep the same pace, the same same capacity and same capability. Thank you.
Thank you so much. From their feedback, I reminded that I must mention one thing which we learned from our previous experiences and myself as a research scholar. Usually when we go in conference and seminars, sometimes the speakers are not allotted 10 minutes time or 15 minutes time. People travel so long because of whatever reasons. I'm not saying that. But the conference and seminars, when we were organizing this, I had a promise that we will not give every speaker less than 45 minutes. So I'm very happy to tell that in these 3 days, the 31 presenters, they were absolutely given the minimum 40 to 45 minutes time with a 15 minutes time as a window for the interactive session. And I would like to tell Ranjana ma'am, because she is not aware how the idea of this conference came into picture was, ma'am, if you remember recently, I think 2 weeks back or 16-20 days back, you were organizing a conference at Delhi in presence of the Honorable Chancellor of this institution, Shekhawat ji. And there was one line which is said that I want, today it is in hurry, now I want that such kind of conferences should be organized on Gyan Bharatam mission as early as possible. And I immediately requested Anirban Das ji to fund us, because before end of the March, we wanted to become the first university in India who could organize on Gyan Bharatam mission on such a large scale. So I want to acknowledge again this help from, indirectly of course it came from Ranjana madam, but our director of NNM, that he considered our request and immediately within 2 days he considered us worthy and showed the faith that before 30th March we could do something like that. So we tried our best that we could keep that promise of giving 45 minutes to 50 minutes to each of the participants. And I hope that we kind of could do that successfully. After this, I think now comes a moment we all have been waiting for after 3 days, the distribution of the certificates. We would like to request our paper presenters who shared their research for this specific area to come and collect the certificates from both our chief guest and guest of honor. I'll request the dignitaries on the dais, if you can please be gracious enough to come down and join us, our participants, so that the certificates can be distributed. At the same time, I would like to apologize to 150 participants that it's not possible that we can distribute with this time limit certificates to all of you. So the participant certificates will be available with our organizing secretary and Dean SWA. So they can be collected later. Right now, we only have time to distribute the certificates to the registered paper presenters who gave their papers in these 3 days conference. So I'm very I must say I'm absolutely thrilled to deliver this first certificate to none other than Professor Lata Mahesh Devkar ji. She is the editor of Dictionary of Buddhist Terms and the academic director of Deshana Institute of Buddhist and Allied Studies from Pune. And her paper was on Rahul Collection and Unparalleled Legacy. Thank you so much, ma'am. On such a short notice, you had immediately accepted our, and you shared amazing, valuable results with all of us. Thank you so much. Next, I would also like to request now Mr. Pushparaj ji, the outstanding writer of a great book which he gifted me today. I would like to tell everybody he is the writer of a very famous book got published by Penguin, Nandihgram Diary, and a journalist. He presented his paper on Rahul Sankrityayan के विरासत की पहचान और संवर्धन की चुनौती. धन्यवाद सर. आपने हमें बिहार से ज्वाइन किया, and during his presentation I could see his emotional breakdowns at a lot of moments where he was emotionally attached with Rahul Sankrityayan's legacy. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Next, I would like to request Dr. Rajesh Kumar Mishra ji, HOD Department of Pali, Gaya College from Gaya. He presented his paper on contribution of Rahul Sankrityayan in restoring Pali Buddhist manuscript. Thank you so much, sir, for coming and sharing your views. Next, I'm absolutely thrilled to announce somebody who is like my brother, Dr. Jasmeet Gill, who is Assistant Professor of English at CIHTS. He presented the paper on mapping modernist literary currents and the scope of world literature in Rahul Sankrityayan's Ghumakkad Shastra, adding a literary and a modernist scope to this. So thank you so much, Jasmeet sir, for this. Next, I would request Dr. Santosh Mishra ji, the Assistant Professor of English from KNG PG College, Bhadohi. He presented his paper on Stories Matter, an insight of the book From Volga to Ganga by Rahul Sankrityayan ji. Thank you so much, sir, for adding a literary glance to the entire discourse and deliberation. Now we have next Ms. Dechen Chuskit ji, the very budding and a very motivational research scholar from Banaras Hindu University. She presented in a research scholar forum on reviving the sacred, conservation and community involvement in the preservation of Basco monasteries, Kangyur and Tangyur manuscripts. Next, we have Dr. Ravi Gupt Maurya ji, again one of the in-house research assistants, a great scholar, a research assistant in the rare Buddhist text research department. He presented it on Rahul Sankrityayan की चौथी तिब्बत यात्रा एवं संस्कृत पांडुलिपियों की खोज. धन्यवाद सर आपके इंसाइटफुल प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए. Next, again we have two of my colleagues and I'm very happy to announce their name. First we have Dr. Jyoti Singh, Assistant Professor of Hindi, who presented on Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan ka Yatra Sahitya. Thank you so much to Dr. Jyoti Singh ji for presenting this paper and opening up a very, very vibrant discussion. And the session was chaired by Shri R.K. Mishra ji. Next, we have Dr. Anurag Tripathi ji, Assistant Professor of Hindi. He presented on Rahul Sankrityayan ke Katha Sahitya mein Bauddha Dharma ka Prabhav. Thank you so much for mingling to almost discordant discourses of Katha Sahitya and Bauddha Sahitya. Next, we have Dr. Akhilesh Kumar Mishra ji, ICSSR Postdoctorate Fellow from BHU, who presented on Bharatiya Gyan Parampara or Bauddha Sahitya, Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan ke Anveshano ka Prabhav. Next, we have Professor Pema Tenzin ji, if he is here. These are the HODs of the 4 research departments. May I request anybody else from the translation department to please? Oh, sir has come. Sir has come. Please, sir. So please put your hands together. The person who almost at the end of, but with lot of energy, he not only chaired a session, but he gave the training to our participants on methodology and aspects of translation of Kangyur and Tangyur by Professor Pema Tenzin ji. He is currently the HOD of Translation Department as well as taking care of our publication department. Thank you so much, sir. Next, we have a person who had the first-hand experience of going to Bihar, struggling with lot of issues. Literally, I could hear in his voice, fighting with Bihar Museum to ensure that those manuscripts are given to right hand, CIHTS. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to announce the name of Mr. Thinle Ram Shastri ji, the HOD of Rare Buddhist Text Research Department, who presented on हमारे संस्थान का योगदान राहुल सांकृत्यायन जी की विरासत को संरक्षण करने के अंदर. Next, again, I am very proud to announce the name of one of my favorite scholars who has been one person. You go to him, he is a living encyclopedia. I have no doubts when students tell him like this. Dr. Lobsang Dorjee Rabling ji, who presented it on intersecting of both the Sahitya and the kind of Sahitya which was brought from Rahul Sankrityayan ji. He is the HOD of Restoration Department at CIHTS. So thank you so much, sir. Last in today's session, I am absolutely thrilled because I wanted to take this risk by bringing an IIT BHU professor here to introduce to our students about what machines are capable to empower the legacy of digital humanities. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Indradeep Mastanji, the newly appointed assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, IIT BHU, who has recently got a big project also to work on digitization of manuscripts. Thank you so much, sir. Besides that, there are 13 participants who, because of whatever reasons, could not join us today. Their certificates, the presenters, their certificates will be given to them at their home address. Thank you so much to the dais for doing the honors. Please join us on the dais again. There was one person who was equally responsible for the kind of hard work which I had put almost for 17 days. A big brother of mine, a friend of mine, and absolutely a person who could understand why manuscripts digitalization and the kind of work which is needed is there. I'm talking about none other than the director of National Mission for Manuscripts, Dr. Anirban Dasji. But because of March ending, you know the kind of work which sometime goes there in the March. And I forgot when I was talking about Ranjana madam that if somebody being the financial advisor by the end week of March can come here, I think for that effort we again should, because I know she was supposed to go on 27th, again because of some financial, these formalities, she had to reschedule it and she has to go today. So thank you so much ma'am that you could come, and thank you so much also for making it possible that Anirban Dasji could give his message online from Delhi. So may we have Professor Anirban Dasji with us. Meanwhile he joins, I would grab the opportunity to introduce his effort to all of you. Professor Anirban Das is a renowned Sanskrit scholar and the current director of the National Mission for Manuscripts, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. He holds a PhD in Sanskrit and Prakrit languages from the University of Pune and has authored 4 books and more than 30 research articles in the field of Sanskrit literature, manuscriptology, and Indian philosophical traditions. An expert in Indic manuscriptology and paleography, Professor Das has taught ancient Indian scripts at over 80 institutions across India and abroad. His international academic engagements, including visiting faculty positions at the University of Copenhagen, Denmark, Otani University, Japan, and Heidelberg University, Germany. It is my absolute honor to now invite Professor Anirban Das, Director NNM, to address the gathering and share his vision on the Gyan Bharatam mission and the road ahead. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Most venerable Bhikshu Sangha, respected today's chief guest, Mrs. Ranjana Chopra ji, Madam ji, honorable guest of honor, Professor Bihari Sharma ji, Professor W.D. Negi, honorable Vice Chancellor CIHTS, venerable Dr. Dorjee Damdul ji, Dr. Sunita Chandra ji, Registrar, Dr. Mahesh Sharma ji, the convener of this conference, distinguished scholars, researchers, and participants. Namaskar. This gathering is a Gyana Yajna, a sacred offering to the wisdom and the intellectual legacy of Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan, whose contributions in rediscovering, preserving, and revitalizing the Indo-Tibetan manuscript heritage have been monumental. His fearless spirit as a traveler, scholar, and a thinker not only enriched the field of manuscript studies, but also reinforced the deep cultural and philosophical bridge between India and Tibet. His efforts, deeply with the ethos of Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies, a cornerstone of institution where the preservation meets the pedagogy, tradition meets the technology, and the Sanskrit meets the silicon. With the deep humility and gratitude, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Ranjana Chopra ji for her steadfast support and dedication in safeguarding the Indians' manuscript heritage. I am also profoundly grateful to Professor Bihari Sharma ji for his scholarly presence and unwavering the commitment to the preservation of the Sanskrit Bhasha and the manuscript heritage. This conference is not only merely a respective, it is a renaissance, and we are not just preserving the legacy, we are revitalizing the integration of the digital era and embedding within the larger vision of the Gyan Bharat mission, an initiative that stands the beacon of the Indian knowledge system, Gyana Yuktam Bharatam, Gyana Purna Bharatam, Gyana Bharatam. Our journey is deeply inspired by the potent vision of the Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji and the Narendra Modi ji, who have redefined the Indians' role in reviving the ancient wisdom at national and international level. Under their visionary leadership, initiative like National Mission for Manuscripts, now it is well known for the Gyan of Bharatam, have transformed to a global movement and reclaim India's position as the Vishwaguru, not through the theoretic but also scholarship, innovation, and the meaningful collaborations. The Gyan of Bharatam mission is not merely a governmental initiative, it is a cultural and collective vows to the preserve and digitize and disseminate the Indians' profound manuscript heritage. Though the manuscript restoration, translation projects, and cutting-edge technology like AI, OCR, Devin images, analyzing metadata, processing, we are bridging the ancient and contemporary, ensuring that our heritage remains a living tradition. The key focus areas of the Gyan Bharat mission: National Digital Manuscript Repository, a cutting-edge archive with the advanced technology, multilingual search facilities to make the ancient manuscript heritage accessible for everyone. Regional centers of excellence, establishing the cluster hubs for the conservation, restoration, and the script studies across the globe. Capacity building program, training the young scholars in paleography, manuscriptology, and the digital archiving to develop the next generation manuscript scholars around the world. Academic integration, UGC incorporated manuscript studies, the courses, the faculty development program, and also university level and the college levels. Our collaboration with the CIHTS will deepen as we embark on the specialized projects focusing on the Tibetan Indic knowledge and its impact to the Buddhist philosophical tradition, number one. Number two, the digitization of the rare Buddhist manuscripts, ensuring their accessibility for the future generation for the further research. And AI-assisted script identification, restoration, bringing the lost manuscripts back to the light. CIHTS is not just a partner, it is a lighthouse of the illuminating the path of the safeguarding the Buddhist manuscript heritage with the both authenticity and innovation. So, though this we play the homage to the Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan, who goes through the pioneering expedition of the intellectual collection of the Tibetan manuscript tradition, and which is revived some of the most precious Indic manuscripts. Let us carry this spirit forward. Let us the legacy of the Rahul Sankrityayan be our beacon, and let the Gyan Bharatam mission be our shared roadmap to the future, where India's manuscript heritage shine as the guiding light of the world. Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat. Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would grab the opportunity now to introduce our guest of honor today. Professor Bihari Lal Sharma ji is the 37th Vice Chancellor of Sampurnanand Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya, Varanasi, having assumed office on August 22, 2023. Prior to this role, he served as the professor in the Department of Jyotish, Vedic Astrology and Astronomy with the Faculty of Veda Vedanga at Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri National Sanskrit University, New Delhi. A renowned scholar in the field of Jyotish, Professor Sharma has contributed significantly to traditional Indian knowledge systems through both teaching and his mammoth research. His academic journey reflects a strong commitment to the preservation and propagation of Sanskrit and Vedic sciences. We are graced by the presence of an erudite scholar and institutional leader, Professor Bihari Lal Sharma ji. Sir, we request you to share your words of wisdom as our guest of honor today.
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। आज के इस कार्यक्रम में मंच पर उपस्थित आज की मुख्य अतिथि श्रद्धेय श्रीमती रंजना चोपड़ा जी, यहाँ की यशस्विनी कुल सचिव श्रीमती डॉक्टर सुनीता जी, डीन श्रीमान नेगी जी, और बड़ी कुशलता से इस कार्यक्रम का संचालन करने वाले महेश जी, और इस सभागार में उपस्थित सभी सारस्वत समाराधक, आपके इस कार्यक्रम में मैं थोड़ा विलंब से पहुंचा, लेकिन मैं आयोजकों को बधाई देता हूं। आभासी माध्यम से जुड़े हुए डॉक्टर अनिर्बाण दास जी, जिन्होंने अभी अभी अपने व्याख्यान से हमारा मार्गदर्शन किया। ये निरंतर सरस्वती की साधना में, माँ शारदा की सेवा में लगे हुए। मैं परसों हमारे यहाँ जब इस कार्यशाला का उद्घाटन हो रहा था, तो एक प्रतिभागी ने कहा, मैंने पूछा कि आप किस प्रकार से हमारा ये प्रिजर्वेशन का कार्य करेंगे, किस भाव से करेंगे। तो उसका उत्तर था कि हम हर कागज में ये देखेंगे कि भगवती शारदा है। चूंकि 400 साल, 500 साल, 600 साल, 700 साल पुरानी जो पांडुलिपि है, उसके प्रत्येक पृष्ठ की क्या स्थिति हो सकती है, ये आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं। अगर उसमें ये भाव ना आए कि ये भगवती शारदा का रूप है, तो वो टूट सकता है, वो नष्ट हो सकता है, वो प्रिजर्व होने से पहले ही खत्म हो सकता है। लेकिन जब इस भाव से कोई कार्य कर रहा हो कि मेरे सामने ये साधारण पृष्ठ नहीं है, मेरे सामने यह जो पृष्ठ है, इसमें भगवती शारदा स्वयं स्थापित है, और जब हम इतने भाव से काम करेंगे तो हम पूरे समर्पण से, पूरी प्रतिबद्धता से, पूरे आस्था से और पूरे ध्यान से काम करेंगे। और जब ध्यान से काम करते हैं तभी सफलता मिलती है। मैं रंजना जी को बधाई देता हूँ खास करके कि ऐसे पुनीत कार्य में आप जुड़े हैं। ये केवल भारत की परंपराओं का संरक्षण नहीं है, ये भारत की बौद्धिक चेतना के जागरण का माध्यम है। और इस प्रकार के पवित्र कार्य के लिए आपने जो जगह चुनी, ये सारनाथ कोई साधारण धरती नहीं है। महात्मा बुद्ध जी ने जब ज्ञान की प्राप्ति की, तो इस ज्ञान को बांटने का क्षेत्र क्या हो, इसके लिए इसी धरती को चुना था। इसलिए ये कोई साधारण धरती नहीं है। मैं तो ज्योतिष का विद्यार्थी हूं, मैं मानता हूं, हमारे यहाँ सिद्धांत है आधार भेदात परिणाम भेदा, यानी आधार भिन्न होता है तो परिणाम भिन्न आता है। एक ही वस्तु को, एक ही पदार्थ को जब आप भिन्न भिन्न धरातल पर रखते हैं तो उसका भिन्न भिन्न प्रकार का प्रभाव आपके सामने होता है। मैं एक सामान्य उदाहरण देता हूं कि आप कोई उत्तम चावल की किस्म का धान, कोई भी आप कहीं बीज रूप में उसकी बिजाई करिए। मैं उदाहरण दूं तो हरियाणा के सोनीपत से लेकर करनाल के बीच में उसकी बिजाई करिए। उसी धान की बिजाई आप देहरादून में करिए, उसी धान की बिजाई आप जम्मू में करिए, उसी धान की बिजाई आप पूर्वांचल में करिए। एक ही बीज, लेकिन सबका टेस्ट अलग अलग मिलेगा। जो हरियाणा का प्रोडक्शन होगा वो धान इतना लंबा लंबा होगा, लेकिन उसमें रस नहीं मिलेगा आपको, उसमें वो टेस्ट नहीं आएगा। जो देहरादून का होगा वो थोड़ा छोटा होगा, लेकिन जब आप बनाएंगे तो उसकी खुशबू दूर दूर तक जाएगी। ये धरती का असर होता है। इसलिए जब आप ऐसे पवित्र कार्य के लिए ऐसी पवित्र धरती को चुनते हैं तो निश्चित रूप से उसमें सफलता मिलती है और वो कार्य यशस्वी होता है। ये सारनाथ की धरती साधारण धरती नहीं है। भगवान महात्मा बुद्ध ने जब ज्ञान अर्जित किया और उसका सारभूत ज्ञान दुनिया को धर्म चक्र प्रवर्तन के माध्यम से दिया जाए, इसके लिए इसी धरती को चुना गया था। और उनके द्वारा जितना ज्ञान बांटा गया, वह ज्ञान चाहे तिब्बत में रहा हो, चाहे नेपाल में रहा हो, चाहे श्रीलंका में रहा हो, या भारत के विभिन्न कोणों में रहा हो, उसके महत्व को समझते हुए महापंडित राहुल सांकृत्यायन जी ने सन 1920 से 1940 के बीच में अनेक क्षेत्रों की यात्राएं की, और 1929 से 1938 के बीच में तो तिब्बत की लगभग 4 बार यात्रा की। और उन्होंने चाहे वो कांग्यूर हो, तांग्यूर हो, उसके ऊपर काम करना हो, उससे संबंधित पांडुलिपियाँ हो, जितनी भी पांडुलिपियाँ थी, प्रज्ञापारमिता सूत्र उसको लाए, कांग्यूर को लाए, तांग्यूर को लाए, और बहुत सारी सैकड़ों, वो इतिहास से संबद्ध थी, वो तंत्र से संबद्ध थी, वो चिकित्सा से संबद्ध थी, और दूसरी विद्याओं से संबद्ध पांडुलिपियां थी। उन सब का संकलन किया और उस संकलन को पटना के संग्रहालय में रखा, कुछ यहाँ रखा, कुछ वहाँ रखा, लेकिन अपने देश में रखा। आज एक बात की और हमें आवश्यकता है सोचने की कि ज्ञान हमारे देश में पहले से भी बहुत जगहों पर रहता था, लेकिन विदेशी आक्रांताओं ने हमारी कमजोरी को देखा कि ये ज्ञान एक जगह संचित करके रखते हैं, उसी जगह पर हमला किया और ज्ञान नष्ट किया, चाहे वो नालंदा में था, चाहे तक्षशिला में था। आज हमें ज्ञान के संचय का आधार क्या होना चाहिए, इसको भी सोचना होगा, ताकि कल कोई विदेशी आक्रांता आए तो हमारे ज्ञान को ना नष्ट कर पाए, ना छीन पाए। आज हमारे पास AI के माध्यम से ऐसा काम करने का प्लेटफॉर्म उपलब्ध है। आज हर बच्चा अपने घर में, अपने कंप्यूटर में, एक स्टोरेज में अपनी अपनी ई-लाइब्रेरी बना लेता है। अगर हम इसी प्रकार से आधुनिक तकनीक का उपयोग करके इस ज्ञान का विकेंद्रीकरण करके अलग अलग जगहों पर सुरक्षित रखेंगे तो कोई कालांतर में आए हमारे ज्ञान को कोई छीन नहीं सकता, कोई नष्ट नहीं कर सकता। इस प्रकार की चीज़ों पर हमें चिंतन करना होगा कि हमारी जो पुरानी पद्धति थी, जिसके कारण एक लाइब्रेरी को आग लगाई तो असंख्य पांडुलिपियाँ, असंख्य ग्रंथ जल गए, नष्ट हो गए और वो ज्ञान चला गया। आज ऐसी स्थिति नहीं होनी चाहिए। इसलिए ज्ञान के संचय का आधार हो वो किस तरह से हो, हमारा ज्ञान किसी भी विषम से विषम परिस्थिति में सुरक्षित कैसे रहे, इसके लिए भी हमें चिंतन करना होगा। मैं यहाँ जिन लोगों ने इस पवित्र भूमि पर अपना चिंतन किया, अपने शोध पत्रों का प्रस्तुतिकरण दिया, वो सब बधाई के पात्र हैं, लेकिन इसे अभी आप केवल अंगड़ाई समझिए और भारत सरकार की यह जो योजना ज्ञान भारतम, इसमें अपना योगदान दीजिए और भारत की गौरवशाली परंपरा में सन्निहित जो ज्ञान है उसको सुरक्षित करना और सुरक्षित तरीके से उसको संभालते हुए समाज के अंतिम छोर में खड़े व्यक्ति तक उसको पहुंचाना। उसके लिए आज का सबसे सबल और प्रबल माध्यम है आभासी माध्यम से हम दूर दराज में बैठे हुए लोगों तक उस ज्ञान को पहुंचा सकते हैं। उसका अधिकतम उपयोग करें और इस ज्ञान में, इन पांडुलिपियों में छिपे हुए ज्ञान को भारत के प्रत्येक प्राणी तक जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि आज दुनिया भारत की तरफ देख रही है और भारत काशी की तरफ देख रहा है। इसलिए काशी से जो चिंतन होगा, काशी से जो आवाज उठेगी, वो केवल भारत का मार्ग प्रशस्त करेगी ऐसा नहीं, वो पूरी दुनिया में शांति ला सकती है। और शांति के लिए बौद्ध धर्म से बेहतर और कोई रास्ता नहीं हो सकता। इसलिए इसके ज्ञान भंडारण में छिपे हुए जो सूत्र हैं, उन सूत्रों का आलोड़न करके, उन सूत्रों से निकलने वाला जो सारभूत ज्ञान है, उसको हम समाज के अंतिम व्यक्ति तक ले जाएं और अपनी इस विरासत को संभालने का काम करें। और जब यहाँ से ये चलता है तो ये धरती, जैसा मैंने कहा कि ये साधारण धरती नहीं है, ये बाबा विश्वनाथ की धरती है, माँ अन्नपूर्णा की धरती है, माँ गंगा की धरती है, महात्मा बुद्ध की धरती है। यहाँ सभी हुए, यहाँ कबीर हुए, यहाँ रविदास हुए, सब लोग यहाँ आकर के इस धरती में उनकी चेतना स्वतः स्फूर्त होने लगती है। ये धरती बड़ी जागृत धरती है। इसलिए जब आप मिलकर के बैठ कर के यहाँ चिंतन करते हैं, विचार करते हैं, पांडुलिपियों में छिपे हुए ज्ञान के प्राकटन के लिए प्रयास करते हैं, तो उस प्रयास में ये शक्तियां भी लगती हैं और इन शक्तियों के माध्यम से वो ज्ञान भारत के दूर दराज में बैठे हुए लोगों तक पहुंचता है। आपका ये संकल्प शिव संकल्प है और जब संकल्प शिव संकल्प होता है तो संकल्प की सिद्धि होती है, और जब संकल्प की सिद्धि होती है तो फिर उस संकल्प लेने वाले की प्रसिद्धि होती है और राष्ट्र का कल्याण होता है, विश्व का निर्माण होता है। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं इतने अच्छे कार्यक्रम के लिए। चूंकि मैं ज्योतिष का विद्यार्थी हूं, आप सबके चमकते ललाट को देख करके ये कह सकता हूं कि भारत का भविष्य उज्जवल है और भारत की ये ज्ञान परंपरा सुरक्षित है। मैं आदरणीय रंजना जी का विशेष आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि इतने व्यस्ततम समय में भी ये मार्च एंडिंग का जो समय होता है, खास करके वित्त की सेहत को देखने वाले लोगों के लिए विशेष रूप से व्यस्तता वाला होता है। ऐसे समय में भी आपने इस पवित्र यज्ञ में आकर के अपने ज्ञान यज्ञ में आहुति दी। इसके लिए बाबा विश्वनाथ आप पर कृपा करें और आपको और सामर्थ्य दें ताकि आप और अच्छा कुछ बड़ा कर सकें। मैं अनिर्बाण दास जी का भी धन्यवादी हूँ। उन्होंने मुझे, ये विस्मृत था, रात उनका फ़ोन आया लगभग 10 बजे, तो मैंने कहा मुझे सूचना नहीं है, तो इनसे बात हुई, इन्होंने फिर उसका कार्यक्रम भिजवाया। आज हमारे यहाँ भी 2-3 कार्यक्रम थे, अभी भी मुझे निकलना है, चूँकि आग्रह था अनिर्बाण दास जी का और वो इतने मेहनती हैं, इतने कर्मठता से हमारे यहाँ पांडुलिपियों के संरक्षण में उनकी टीम लगी हुई है, तो मैं उनकी बात को टाल नहीं सकता था, इसलिए मैं आया और आप सब दिव्यात्माओं के दर्शन करने का मौका मिला। मैं आभारी हूँ आप सबका, आयोजकों का, और बाबा विश्वनाथ से प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि हम सबको सद्बुद्धि दे, शक्ति दे, हम मिलकर के अपने सामर्थ्य के अनुरूप इस ज्ञान भारतम के पवित्र मिशन में अपनी आहुति दे पाएं। नमस्कार, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद, जय भारत।
धन्यवाद सर आपके ओजपूर्ण आशीष वचनों के लिए, और जिस तरह से आपने बहुत ही संक्षेप में, आई डोंट नो आई शुड से दिस और नॉट, बट आई वांट टू से बिकॉज आई एम फीलिंग द अर्ज। आज सर से मैंने एज अ स्टूडेंट, शायद मेरी अंग्रेजी शिक्षा ने मुझ में ये खराब कर दिया, जब मैंने देखा कि सर यहाँ आए और भगवान बुद्ध के सामने यहाँ पोडियम पे खड़े होकर पहले अपने जूते उतारे, तो आज मैं भी उस क्षमा के साथ सर आपसे एक प्रॉमिस करता हूँ कि आज के बाद जब भी पोडियम पे मैं भी खड़ा हूँगा, कभी जूते पहन के नहीं खड़ा हूँगा सर। इस शिक्षा के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, और मैं इसे हमेशा याद रखूँगा। धन्यवाद। Now I also want to absolutely acknowledge the presence once again of Ranjana Chopra ji, and let me grab the opportunity to introduce her effort and her little bit of biography to all of you, so that you know the lady who has been working so hard has doing a kind of work which is exceptional in this country. Ms. Ranjana Chopra ji is a senior Indian Administrative Services IAS officer of the 1994 batch from the Odisha cadre, currently serving as the Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor in the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Appointed to this role in October 2022, she oversees the integrated financial division, budget allocations, expenditure monitoring, and financial policy and implementation. Her leadership plays a pivotal role in the shaping and supporting cultural initiatives and institutional frameworks across the ministry. Before her central appointment, Ms. Chopra ji held several significant positions in Odisha state government, including Principal Secretary in the Department of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises and Scheduled Tribe and Scheduled Caste Development. She also served as the Director General of Gopabandhu Academy of Administration, Bhubaneswar, an alumna of the most prestigious London School of Economics. If I'm not wrong, she did her MSc from there, and Utkal University, where she earned her LLB from there. She brings a strong foundation in policy, law, and administration, contributing immensely to India's cultural governance and strategic planning. We are deeply honored to have with us such a luminous personality, Ms. Ranjana Chopra ji, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor. We humbly request you to deliver the Chief Guest Address and bless the gathering, ma'am.
Namaskar. First of all, I'd like to apologize. I have a very bad throat, so please bear with me. The guest of honor of today's function, Vice Chancellor of Sampurnanand University, Professor Bihari Sharma ji, Registrar of CIHTS, Sunita ji, and all other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, scholars, academicians, staff, professors, academia of CIHTS, other universities who have come to join the conference on Rahul Sankrityayan ji. And as Professor Sharma was mentioning, participate in this absolutely pious yajna of Manuscripts mission that Government of India is now trying to drive. I'll first like to give you a small, brief background to the Manuscripts mission in our country. National Manuscripts Mission was launched for the first time in 2003 when Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister of our country. From 2003 to 2025, while we estimate that there are about 1 crore Indian manuscripts, which, as Professor Sharma has absolutely rightly said, they are the repositories of our traditional and ancient knowledge, the essence of Indianness, of who we are. The National Manuscript Mission was only able to survey about 50 lakh, that is about half of the estimated number, and has been able to digitize a very, very small number. After digitization, even a smaller number, digitized number is about 3 lakh, number which is in the public domain, easily accessible, is less than 1 lakh. So it won't be wrong to say that National Manuscript Mission has a long way to go. And the difference between 2025, where we stand today, and 2003, when it was launched initially, the difference is that what started as a government program in 2003 is today, fortunately, and I completely agree with Professor Sharma when he said that I am privileged to be a part of it. What started off as a government program in 2003 has actually become an important mission and passion for the Government of India, and especially Ministry of Culture. And we feel very humbled and very privileged to be a part of this huge effort that is going to help all of us rediscover our ancient knowledge systems, our past, and then put it in a form that it is indestructible for the future generations. So this is a huge responsibility that has been taken up. The difference between Manuscripts Mission and Gyan Bharatam Mission is that the Manuscript Missions now will be under the banner of Gyan Bharatam Mission. So this is the new name. This is how we are going to start the journey from now onwards. Under the Gyan Bharatam Mission, we are having 5 important visions. First is to survey all the manuscripts that exist in the world today to the best possible manner, whether it is there within our country or outside the country. Second, based on the survey, do the documentation. The reason why I was very keen, despite, as everyone has mentioned, it not being a very good time for me to leave Delhi and my office, I was very keen to visit the university, CIHTS, and also this particular seminar is to also get a deeper understanding that how can we create a connect between government objectives, academia, and scholars. So this connect has to be made. And in this conference, I think they have very, very successfully shown how this connect can be made. Only a platform is required. I think the world of academia, the scholars who are there are very keen to collaborate on this mission. That is my learning since yesterday. The second reason I also wanted to see, when we have meetings in Delhi and we discuss all these issues, it's a very abstract idea. You know, we talk that yes, we are going to do the documentation and survey, but how is it being actually done? One is able to appreciate that part only when one sees it physically being done on the ground. And hence my visit to the library today to see the conservation preservation lab, what are the kind of instruments. So that is also very critical for me to understand, a better understanding. When we are going to now, next year is going to be critical. We are going to, when I say next year, I mean the next financial year, which is going to start from a week from now. when we are hoping that Gyan Bharatam mission will make a very big beginning. So it is important for me to understand that in case X is the finance that is available, then what are the priorities on which this X has to be spent on? What is it that is most important for us? So as I was mentioning, survey, documentation. After documentation, conservation and preservation. After conservation and preservation, then comes digitization. When we say digitization, and the professor from IIT will agree with me, that digitization itself is not the end by itself. I think that is what Sunita ji was sharing with me, that a lot of whatever is there in CIHTS has been digitized, but it is not being shared, right? There is no way that a scholar can access it. So digitization is important, but digitalization is also equally important. How do we make sure that whatever resources we have, A, we are not wasting or our resourcing on duplicating efforts on actually digitizing and translating the same manuscript which is already in public domain. So the digitalization, giving access, open access to public, to scholars is also very, very important. According to me, while all these 4 or 5 things are important, the most important thing is going to be the research, publication and dissemination of this knowledge. Nothing is important. The entire effort towards Gyan Bharatam mission is to make sure that our younger generation, the students who are at this point of time in studying in universities and colleges, who are, whether they are studying physics or chemistry or maths, how can we make sure that between the Western knowledge that they are imbibing today and our traditional knowledge, which has also been talking about these disciplines and probably in a much more advanced form, how do we make sure that our present day generation is able to bridge these two knowledge systems and learn from what our forefathers already knew maybe thousands of years back? So dissemination of knowledge. So hence whenever I go to any academic institution, whenever I'm interacting, I had the privilege of interacting with heads of the departments of CIHTS Sarnath today. My question always is that how good is your research and how good is your publication? Are you publishing it in-house? Are your scholars able to generate papers which are worth publishing in journals of international repute? A couple of times when we have attended meetings outside and when we are trying to describe this aspect of civilizational, India is a civilization which, it won't be wrong or an exaggeration to call it a knowledge civilization. We are a knowledge civilization. That is why we are continuing. It has never ended. The story of India has never ended. There was never a lapse. There was never a gap in our history when the Indian civilization had for some reason ended and then, it was, no. There was never a gap because we are essentially a knowledge civilization. While tangible is important, intangible was much more important for us. So the point that I am trying to make is that all these efforts, when we go out and we are talking to Western scholars, they will immediately take, for example, we had a World Heritage Committee where UNESCO had more than 180 countries of the world participated. We had 3,000 delegates. We were talking about so many important things that are now emerging on our civilizational map. So they would be very interested. They said that, yeah, that this is very fascinating. In case, let's say you are saying that this is continuing civilization, you want to talk about maritime archaeology, you want to talk about the advancements in science that was made by the rishis and scholars 10,000 years back. So, but is there any article, is there any book that we can refer to? So it is only then one realized that it is important to have discussions, seminar, workshops and researches. It is important also to have some form of publications done in a manner which are also accessed by Western scholars, global audience. It is only then that the idea of Bharat will be completely put across in the right manner and right perspective. So towards all this, I feel Gyan Bharatam mission will play an important role. And the most important role will be played by institutions like yours, institutions like Sampurnanand universities, whom we see are going to be the leaders who are going to lead this entire initiative. And what we have in mind at this point of time is that institutions like yours, the two universities here in Varanasi, will be the leaders who will actually then help us access, document, conserve the manuscripts that are available, not with them, but not only with them, but also with institutions around them. So this is the hope and this is the dream that we have in Gyan Bharatam mission. Before I conclude, I would like to place on record the efforts which Dr. Anirban Das has made towards creating the framework for Gyan Bharatam mission. I was telling him yesterday that people like me can at best provide some kind of an administrative direction, but the content, the substance of this program has to come from domain experts like him, domain experts like all of you, domain experts like Professor Sharma, who can guide us as to how we need to go ahead. So that is very, very important. So I think at this point of time, we are poised well, and the Gyan Bharatam mission is now looking at a very, very bright opening. Towards the end, I would once again like to place my gratitude to the organizers of the event for having, as Mahesh ji was mentioning, that in case it has come from the post-budget webinar that we had inaugurated, it is very, very heartening to know that we are taken so seriously. So I am delighted to hear this, but we will actually also be having a national level seminar very soon. And a very special thanks to Sunita ji, the registrar of the university. And although I am going to digress from the point a little bit, but I have to tell you about Sunita ji also. You see, my first introduction to CIHTS Sarnath was, in a way, when we were doing a cost revision committee for the Sowarigpa hospital. So as financial advisor, I am also a miser, conjuice. I don't like spending or giving money. So when I start meetings like this, I already tell myself that I am not going to approve it, because this is government money, can't be spent like this. And when Sunita came and the meeting started, I had so many questions and I tried my best to kill this, that this can't happen. But then after about 15-20 minutes, I realized that this is one lady who is not getting intimidated or overwhelmed. She knows her subject, she's sticking her stand, and then she's completely unruffled. She kept smiling like this. And I think after half an hour of badgering her, I decided to give it up and decided that yes, I think she knows what she has come for. And if even 50% of what she's so passionate about comes true, that will be government money worth spent. So on that basis, we approved it. And in less than 4 months, I have been able to come and see the Sowarigpa building, which I can say with guarantee is the most beautiful and aesthetic building made with government money that I have seen so far. So thank you very much, CIHTS Sarnath, for being a very, very good and a very, very efficient partner with Ministry of Culture. And once again, I'd like to place my gratitude on record. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And when you were talking about this, of course you did not digress, because I do remember whenever Registrar ma'am also comes from Delhi, usually I'm the first one when she will come, and very excitedly. So I remember when you were retelling, it was kind of re-envisioning everything which she told me, that yes, this happened. But I also on record would also like to tell two things, ma'am, from here. One is, of course, we were very concerned about our Sowarigpa building's completion. Ma'am were running to and fro Delhi. The another aspect was about the proper reshaping of our CIHTS, our CTE, Central Teacher of Education, for which also ma'am was running pole to pole from Delhi on here. And I'm so happy that you came and you met all of us basically in IQAC committee room, which is actually housed in CTE, and you could see yourself the kind of work which our CTE teacher, and I'm very proud to tell that B.Ed is one of the most demanding courses in the Himalayan region, and our students, our teachers are not only capable to change the linguistic ecology of that region, but are filling a very big void of the trained teachers. And I'm sure with your understanding, now you have witnessed this, I'm sure very soon even the dream of our CTE as being the permanent wing in this university will also be visualized pretty soon. So thank you so much for your guidance, your faith in us, and your blessings. I also do remember, and I would like to put it on record here, that when we were conceptualizing this seminar, immediately Anirban Dasji told me one thing very categorically clear, that Maheshji, I don't want you to have a conference only go for 30, 40 scholars whom you think that their abstracts are worthy enough, because he promised me in the second phase of this, they are also going to release again an important fund, whereas ma'am rightly said, we are going to publish it systematically. Not only the collection of this particular presentation of the papers are going to publish, but we are going to start now a series of manuscriptology, and of course in which the guiding force is going to be Professor Bihari Lal Sharma ji with us. So it's going to be, ma'am rightly said, Banaras and Kashi is one of the vibrant lands where, look at that, Sampurnanand Sanskrit University, Banaras Hindu University, IIT BHU, our own campus, Gandhi Kashi Vidyapit. If we all come collectively together as not separate institutions who have different mandates and all, ultimately I guess the vision and mission is same, to ensure that India again accepted at wider global level as the power it has been, as it is, and it will remain always across the globe, because there is no other country who has the kind of knowledge archive which is lying there. Either you call it IKS or you call it Gyan Bharatam mission. I love this word because when I end on this word mission, it gives me this driving force that we are going on a mission to ensure that with the proper guidance we are capable to achieve whatever we are looking forward. So thank you so much for reminding us that. Now I would request Dr. Dorjee Damdul ji, the Dean Sowarigpa, CIHTS, to offer his closing remarks.
Respected Chief Guest, Madam Ranjana Chopra, Additional Secretary and Finance Advisor, Minister of Culture, Government of India, Guest of Honor, Professor Bihari Lal Sharma, Vice Chancellor of the Sanskrit University, Director, National Mission for Manuscript, Professor Anirban Dash, Registrar of the Institute, Dr. Sunita Chandra, distinguished guests, all the deans of the faculties and heads of the departments, in charge of the unit and sections, staff and students of the institute, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure and privilege to propose a closing remarks on this national conference on behalf of the Honorable Vice Chancellor. As we approach the conclusion of this transformative 3-day national conference, I stand before you with deep gratitude and pride. This gathering, hosted by Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies in collaboration with the National Mission of Manuscripts, has truly been a celebration of knowledge, heritage, and innovation. Though the theme, the legacy of Rahul Sankrityayan in the era of digital humanities, we have honored the towering legacy of manuscripts, Rahul Sankrityayan, a thinker whose life embodied the spiritual of inquiry, adventure, and intellectual courage. His contributions as a Buddhist scholar, historian, linguist, and pioneer of manuscript preservation remain fundamental to the very mission we uphold at Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies. Rahul Sankrityayan had no formal university degree but largely self-taught in various topics and become one of the renowned scholars and prominent researcher who explore many different hidden manuscripts. He knows more than 30 different languages and he has one of the most widely traveled Indian scholar. He has visited many parts of the Central Asia, including Tibet, China, Russia, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Burma, Japan, Lahore in Pakistan, etc. Rahul Sankrityayan has a legendary scholar who made groundbreaking contribution to Tibetan studies in the early 20th century, conducting exclusive research and exploration of Tibetan culture and Buddhist manuscripts. He visited Tibet 4 times, explored, translated, restored, and collected numerous rare manuscripts, Buddhist texts, and literature that were critical to preserving Tibetan literacy, crucial heritage, cultural heritage. He has restored and translated many important Buddhist texts from Tibetan to Hindi, making them accessible to a wider audience. Rahul ji wrote extensively. His collection of works spanning more than 100 books in various subjects like Indology, Communism, Buddhism, and Pelology, Tibetology, as well as various short stories and novels and plays. He has awarded the 1958 Sahitya Academy Award for his 2-volume book on history of Central Asia. The government of India awarded him the Padma Bhushan, the country's 3rd highest civilian award in 1963. His work laid the foundation for future scholarly research in Buddhism and culture studies, inspiring generations for researchers and scholars. This might be the very first national conference on the legacy of Rahul ji in the era of digital humanities. The conference uploaded with a remarkable range of sessions from keynote address and therapeutic papers to interactive workshops and hands-on trainings in the manuscript preservation and digital humanities. Scholars and researchers illuminated Rahul Sankrityayan's multilingual literary corpus, his transnational explorations, and his vision for India's intellectual rejuvenation through knowledge traditions. Our collaborative efforts with the National Mission for Manuscripts under the insightful leadership of Professor Anirban thus have once again proven fruitful, blending the stance of the academic rigor with digital innovations. The presence of Mr. Ranjana Chopra and Professor Bihari Lal Sharma in today's valedictory session reaffirms the national importance of our mission and lends strong encouragement to our initiatives in preserving India's sacred and scholarly heritage. I also express my deep appreciation to Dr. Sunita Chandra, Registrar of the Institute, for her support throughout, and to our convener, Dr. Mahesh Sharma, whose vision and tireless cooperation made this conference a resounding success. Let this not be the ending, but a new beginning, an impetus for more inclusive research, robust collaborations, and digital pathways that breathe life into our ancient texts and tradition. As we carry forward the torch of Rahul Sankrityayan legacy, let us reaffirm our commitment to Gyan Bharatam, a future shaped by wisdom, integrity, and culture rootless. I am sure that this conference become a grand success. Thank you once again for your participation and contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, to conclude this memorable session, I don't understand that I should be inviting anybody else, but with a lot of honor, I invite our beloved Registrar, Dr. Sunita Chandra ji, to deliver the vote of thanks, a gesture of our deep gratitude to all those who made this event a resounding success.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Namo Buddhaya. मंच पर विराजमान आज की मुख्य अतिथि, मैं क्या बोलूँ, अभी तो इतनी सारी बातें सुन के दिल पूरा भरा हुआ है, पर परम सम्माननीय, आदरणीय, मैं कौन सा शब्द कहूँ, रंजना चोपड़ा मैडम, श्रद्धेय गुरुजी प्रोफेसर बिहारी लाल शर्मा जी, हमारे प्रोफेसर दमदुल दोरजे जी, सम्माननीय आज के दिन के वाइस चांसलर के बिहाफ पे जो हमारे साथ हैं। इसके पहले कि मैं ये औपचारिकता पूरी करूं, मैं कुछ बताना चाहती थी, क्योंकि मेरे पास अनगिनत फ़ोन कॉल आ रहे हैं और बहुत सारे मैसेजेस मेरे पास हैं। हमारे आज से एक दिन पहले, जब 2 दिन पहले जब हमारा इनॉग्रेशन हुआ, हमारे परम श्रद्धेय कुलपति महोदय हमारे साथ यहाँ पे अपना इनॉग्रल स्पीच दे रहे थे और उसके बाद उनकी तबीयत बिगड़ गई। लेकिन मुझे ये बताना है आज यहाँ से कि उनके बगैर, उनके आशीर्वाद के बगैर या उनके जो साहस उन्होंने हमें दिया है किसी भी तरह के इवेंट को कंडक्ट करने के लिए, उसके बगैर हम कुछ भी काम नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो मैं आज इस मंच से पहले तो आई वॉन्ट टू कन्वे दिस टू ऑल ऑफ यू दैट ही इज़ एब्सोल्युटली हेल्दी नाउ एंड ही इज़ रिकवरिंग वेरी नाइसली विथ ऑल योर प्रेयर्स एंड ब्लेसिंग्स. And one important thing, the first thing that I went to see him when he was in CCU and he was recovered from the angioplasty and all, he said, let the conference go on and there should be no stopping to the conference, and it should not be having any hitch in my health interfering into the conduct of this conference. So now with these informations, I do the formality that Dr. Sharma has given me. I hope and pray to God that I do justice in registering my thanks to everybody. So let me start with the very valuable and precious person that the Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies is having on dais today in the form of chief guest, Madam Ranjana Chopra. She was so kind and generous to say that about me, but let me tell you that how she could make possible to be a part of this memorable conference today with all of us. We all know financial close, and we all know even a small organization has to work so hard in the last week of the closing finance end. And in that scenario, Madam could make time and even make a plan also to leave the headquarters was something which was unbelievable. When I saw that Madam is there with us for 2 days, I was more than overjoyed, and I told Mahesh Sharma ji, अब तो conference की valedictory बहुत अच्छी हो जाएगी, Madam हमारे साथ होंगी. And then my heartbeat stopped when a message came कि my plan has changed. मैडम ने अपना प्लान चेंज किया, 27th की फ़्लाइट उन्होंने कैंसिल की. सो फॉर अ मोमेंट आई थॉट मैडम इज़ नॉट कमिंग, बट देन शी सेड नो, आई विल बी देयर, बट आई विल गो ऑन 26th itself, immediately after the program. I will not have time to stay back for the morning of 27th, so I will be leaving. And madam is a person, I think I have seen her working in the office. So having strategic planners of Government of India with us, and understanding the difficulties and the limitations what organizations and institutions like us have, being with them for a day or half a day will go a long way, I think, because she will be our ambassador to take this voice of ours, that what are the limitations and what are the shortcomings that we face every now and then, and why government strategies and plans, big plans, Madam told in detail about Gyan, Bharatam and National Manuscript Mission. So why and how we can march forward with the government's initiatives, and how and where we would be lacking. Now, Madam, with you here, I think we will be successful in putting that word without giving documents explaining all this. So thank you so much, madam, for making it possible to be here with us. And as far as what madam told about the project, I would take a little bit more time to register my thankfulness to her, just not for being a part of this conference. She was there. Should I say this? She is like a fairy godmother to the institute. Because what she did was which I never come across. I had come from BHU, and the mother funding body is Ministry of Education. So Ministry of Culture, I was never ever having any kind of knowledge about how Ministry of Culture functions and how the finance division there works. But when I went for the first time with my proposals for sanction of post and for sanction of funds for Sowarigpa, there were two very dynamic ladies who, like I rightfully said, I think, fairy godmothers, held my hand, and madam was so energetic कि madam ने कहा कि चलो Ministry of Finance इस proposal को लेके जाएंगे. I mean, if you remember, and with us, we went to Ministry of Finance to place our demand of additional what? I mean, basic post for Sowarigpa. We had requested for 80 posts for Sowarigpa, and as Dr. Sharma, I think he was telling about it, we are running B.Ed 4-year integrated course and a B.Ed 2-year program also, and we are not having any permanent positions there. And we are catering to the entire Himalayan border Sambota schools where there are no trained teachers. I remember of all the people in the meeting and the places where we went, it was only Ranjana madam who said, yes, we are going to talk about this, that we do need teaching positions. So in the presentation that was being made by Amita Zarabai ma'am, I also thank her today from this platform. It was Ranjana madam who put all force into our demands. So thank you madam for each step of yours, for each support of yours, for each encouragement of yours. You have been like guiding us for everything. Coming to our honorable guest of honor for today, Professor Biharilal Sharma sir. Sir, आप तो जन्मदाता हैं हमारा institute, madam, if you know, is an offshoot of Sampurnanand Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya. So हमारी आत्मा आप ही की आत्मा में बसती है. जब आपने जब इस मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट मिशन के बारे में और मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट के भाव के बारे में बताया कि जब आपने पूछा कि किस तरह से किसी मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट के प्रिजर्वेशन में वो अपने योगदान देंगे और किस तरह से वो काम करेंगे, बहुत सुंदर तरीके से आपने उस बात को रखा सर. ये सब चीज़ें हमने सीखी. आपने खड़े खड़े हमें जूते पहन के डायस पे नहीं बोलना और सब सिखा डाला, तो इसके लिए भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. मैडम भी आई तो मैडम ने चप्पल नहीं पहनी थी, हम भी आए तो नहीं पहने थे. सर आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद यहाँ आने के लिए. और मुझे पता है कि सर के पास भी बहुत सारे असाइनमेंट्स थे. मैं बार बार महेश शर्मा जी से पूछ रही थी कि हमारे गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर नहीं आए. उन्होंने कहा नहीं आएंगे. फिर जब काफ़ी समय बीत गया तो मुझे लगा कि नहीं सर अब नहीं आ पाएंगे, एंगेजमेंट कुछ ज़्यादा ही होगी. लेकिन सर आए और सर ने हम सबको अपने प्रेजेंस से ही हैज़ ऑनर्ड अस. सो आई कन्वे माई थैंकफुलनेस टू सर ऑल्सो. सर आपकी बातें भी हमने नोट करी कि नॉलेज के डिस्ट्रक्शंस को बचाने का एक ही तरीका है कि जैसे स्टूडेंट्स एक छोटी छोटी ई लाइब्रेरी भी क्रिएट कर लेते हैं. सो लेट्स हैव न्यू वेज ऑफ प्रिजर्विंग आवर नॉलेज सिस्टम, नॉलेज वॉट एवर वी हैव इन आवर कंट्री, सो दैट वी डू नॉट रिपीट द मिस्टेक वॉट वी डिड वंस मुगल इन्वेडर्स डिस्ट्रॉयड मच ऑफ आवर नॉलेज. थर्ड, लेट मी थैंक जो हमारे बहुत ही हम्बल, सिंसियर, सोबर हमारे प्रोफेसर दर्दे जमदुल जी सर हैं. जब भी उनसे किसी तरह का निवेदन किया जाए सर सहर्ष उसको स्वीकार करते हैं. हमने जब उन्हें कहा कि सर हमारी जो सबसे हेड ऑफ़ द इंस्टीट्यूशन वाली कुर्सी है, वो कुर्सी जो है उसे कौन नवाजेगा जब डायस सजेगा, तो इस सजावट में कोई कसर न रह जाए. सर ने उसे सहर्ष स्वीकार किया. सर इसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. And then let me go to thank my partners. This conference would not have been possible had it not been National Manuscript Mission, which was put with a lot of force on the back by Dr. and Professor Anirban Das ji. IBC with Professor Abhijit Haldar ji. All these partners have stood by for the 3 days into the mere sense of what this conference was standing up for. Yes, we were talking of the great scholar Rahul Sankrityayan ji, but besides that, we were also talking of bringing it right to the modern platform of digitalizing the whole thing and how and where the processes should start and how we should go into this journey. So I also thank the Director of National Manuscript Mission, Professor Anirban ji, who joined us in this whole conference valedictory function, and also who has been around for all the 3 days, I know in form of all dialogues that he was having with Dr. Sharma. I now one by one want to thank every, sir, madam, I will be just taking 2 minutes. I know your flight is there, but just to register my thankfulness, otherwise I do not get any platform to say a thank you to all of you who are doing such great hard work for the university. So first in this line, I would like to thank the multimedia section. Yes, the small story goes like this, that when we thought that madam के पास तो time होगा नहीं, मैम तो मैम ने last day अपना cancel कर दिया था, flight cancel होने के बाद, we were just thinking it is very important to showcase that how we are doing the digitalization work. So we knew that madam may not have time. So what to do? So it just cropped up into Dr. Sharma and my mind. हमारे दिमाग में आया कि let's make a small documentary and put it in the valedictory function so that everybody who the participants and everybody become aware of it, that how the process is being done. And I went to the library along with Dr. Sharma. And I remember how Dr. Donio, Donio ji was not there, but San Antonio, Kalden, Palden, and the whole team was there. And they looked at us like, what are we speaking? So we were speaking sense. Are we speaking sense? The expressions were like that to them. So we said, yes, we will do it. And we can make a small documentary. And surprisingly, to my great surprise, as soon as the movie was over, the documentary was over, madam ने एकदम से कहा बहुत अच्छा, ये तो बहुत अच्छा बनाया है इतना short period में. So madam, that is the reward given. Now we have accepted it, and to the multimedia section who made it possible. So a big round of applause for them, because making documentaries may be a small assignment, but making a good documentary and a perfect timing for each and every shot that was there in that documentary is important. And that our multimedia talented people have done. So I thank the multimedia team. I also congratulate and thank the Dhi Patrika complete team who has come up with the new edition. And I also thank Madam and our guest of honor, Professor Biharilal Sharma ji, and the Vice Chancellor for releasing this new edition. I also thank Dr. Himanshu Pandey ji and his team for organizing the small head and dean interaction meet with the finance advisor, Ranjana Chopra madam, very nicely, and we were able to share our thoughts. Madam got to know, I think, so much by the mere interaction with the heads and deans. Before I come to, and there was a Sowarigpa visit also, so I would like to thank the Dean, Professor Damdul sir, the head Tashidava ji, and the entire team who supported in taking us around the Sowarigpa visit. And now coming to the fulcrum of the whole event. जैसे एक चक्कर के एक व्हील के बीच में एक पॉइंट है, नोड पॉइंट है, और एक फल्क्रम है. That fulcrum for the 3 days which was echoing in this Atisha hall was Dr. Mahesh Sharma. एक तो ऊपर वाले ने बुलंद आवाज़ दी है और वैसे भी अपने काम से echo करते हैं. So I want to really thank Dr. Sharma, just not for putting a good conference and a good gathering, but he had good components to this conference. There was hand-on trainings, there was workshop, there was documentary, there was interactions. There was everything that is required. I think Madam was telling in detail about Gyan Bharatam mission, and she was talking of the steps, 4 steps. So somehow this conference did lay a foundation to that initiative of our Government of India, and this credit goes to the entire team, Animesh Prakash ji, Mahesh Sharma ji, and their team. I would not want to take each name of each of the team members, but please, I'm speaking from my heart. My gratefulness, my gratitude to all of them. My sincere thankfulness to all the senior teachers like Professor Jampa Samten sir, all the venerable monks here, Professor Pema Tenzing ji, the participants, Lata madam and Maya Joshi madam, they were moments of nostalgia. I just forgot to tell this ma'am, it was the opening day, it was just not the Vice Chancellor's speech which was very nostalgic. The nostalgia was Professor Maya Joshi madam. When she spoke, she is daughter of Professor L.M. Joshi, and we have been, since 1987, he was a scholar who contributed a lot to this institution. And he left his US assignments just to continue to be here with our institution. So when she came and she talked about the backgrounds, there was a great nostalgia. The students got so moved away. They wanted to take her and put their gratitude in a form of function. So she also was so emotional that because after 40 years, if a father is being remembered and a daughter is there to witness, because daughters are reflections of father, so she could, she went very sentimental on many of the things. So this conference is just not coming of participants registering and giving some talks. It also had so much of emotions in it. So thank you to all those people who have made it, all the teachers, all my officers, all my non-teaching staff, all the people who have made this event successful. I want to thank each one of them. I may not be able to take names. The ones who are putting lights, to the one who are cleaning the carpets. Thanks to everybody. And students. I know without students, nothing would have been complete. And this time in this conference, the students were more than what they were limited otherwise to do. They were participating very actively. So a big round of applause for them too. Last, not the least, whatever event we do, with what kind of flavor and sentiments, it comes in the print and press media. I have seen this. There are reportings, but I don't know how our reporters are so good to us that each event of ours has been captured by them in true spirit. Otherwise, digitalization and preservation are subjects which generally reports may not be in that kind of form which an academic event would be covered. They won't do it like that. But somehow I really want to thank all the media, both the media, for helping us, bringing it to the doorstep of a common man, that what we are doing. In the end, taking the God's name, if I have forgotten to thank anybody, then please consider this as a thank to them also. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I assure you that you did not forget anything. You kind of, in a very overwhelming way, covered everybody. And in this just last 2 lines, I would like to just say 2 things. In these 3 days conference, 2 resolutions requests recurrently came from the participants, the presenters, the people who were chairing the session, and they personally told me that if ma'am will not have a time, you must, when you are ending it, should say it from here. So it's for the participants. As being the voice of yours, I would like to put it on request. All our participants felt that Indian government, especially Ministry of Culture, should realize and try to establish a specific Pandit Rahul Sankrityayan's research center or a full-fledged university in honor of the legacy of that great person, whom otherwise he may be, there are a lot of tokens which are associated with his personality. So I'm sure, since I have put it on record, it will kind of go through a long way and it will have its resounding bound in Ministry of Culture. And since Ranjana ma'am is here, she will take it to the proper channel and we will have it this way. The second is a very personal request of mine. It just so happened that in last 2 months, the B.Ed students, for whatever reasons, were coming to me, meeting me more than I think 10, 12 times. And every time when they come as the group, they tell me, सर हमें पता है आप बीएड के लिए तो नहीं हैं, बट हमारी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है, पता नहीं हम आपके पास क्यों आ रहे हैं. So this is for my students that again I am requesting. I have already said it, but again I'll request it so that it remains in the memory of ma'am. Our B.Ed students demand, our B.Ed teachers demand, our CTE's recognition, a little bit of funding from your side, ma'am, will help this crunch which is somehow created in the Himalayan region. And our students, I think, will be honored and will be obliged and will forever remember this great gratitude which can come down to us from Ministry of Culture. So, as the last word, I just want to remind all of you, remember there are certain formalities, as ma'am rightly said, but I want to say it on record. We are very thankful first to Ranjana madam, second to Anirban Das ji for funding with a big heart the entire conference, and a promise that the second slot of funding will be released if we want to publish this as a series of the books. So thank you so much to National Mission for Manuscripts for funding this. Thank you so much for Ministry of Culture, Government of India for always being back at the back of this university. There is one request to all the participants. There is a feedback form which is circulated to you within this bag. It is part of the settlement of the money which is given to us, that we have to submit that feedback form. So please complete your feedback form, and before we close the session, please ensure that you submit it to our organizing team. Thank you so much. With hearts filled with learning and gratitude, we formally conclude this 3-day conference. Let us carry forward the legacy of Mahapandit Rahul Sankrityayan with renewed vigor and digital vision. Thank you. Jai Hind and Tashi Dale.